Hey, this is Deadkey Developer right here. Happy 2025 to everybody. Wishing everybody a prosperous new year. I just wanted to show you guys a project that I've recently been working on. Um, with me completing my Bachelor's of Science in Computer Science, um, I'm actually sharpening up my programming knowledge with this specific module being Python programming. I created a Dragon Ball Z game, a project. Dragon Ball Z has always been close to my heart, so I hope you guys enjoy this. I'll leave a link in the description to the GitHub repo where you can download, and I'll give you a high level overview of what the project entails. And yeah, enjoy. And if you got any questions, leave any comments, and I'll get back to you. All right, so let's run our Python file.
Dragon Ball Z. Dragon, come get me. Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z. Dragon, come get me. Dragon Ball Z. Dragon, come get me.
Righty. So I had to split the video into two because the game sound was way over my voice. So what I've basically done is I've just included a function here from the Pygame library. Once again, I've used a method to set the volume lower. So this time you can actually hear me when I describe the components of the game. So I'm just going to run instead of viewing the entire video. I press spacebar to skip that. Um, and then yeah, so this is basically our Goku and Vegeta battle. You can see on the top left hand side and the right hand side, they are health bars. Once the health bar reaches zero, then that specific player loses. And what's great about this is that it's just like your old fashioned games where it's a two-player game and both players can use the same keyboard to play the game, which is awesome. Um, each character has got his own special ability, like that focus Kamea wave over there. Should hit Vegeta, 25% of Vegeta's health will be removed from his 100% health bar over there. The same with Vegeta. And as you can see, I've actually inserted a projectile sound from when the beam actually is fired from the character. And next, I've also included a pretty nifty feature for both the characters, and that's to get them to go Super Saiyan as such. And then, yeah, so you would generally just whoever you down to zero. And once their health goes down to zero, it'll bring you to this continue screen. Don't worry, you don't need to insert any coins. If you want to continue playing, you can press the R key, and the R key will restart the game. Okay. And then don't press the R key. So Goku wins, and then it'll take us to the continue screen again. And all that will happen is that once the countdown timer goes down to zero, the application quit, which is what we expected over there. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to join this video to the initial video, and I'll explain to you about what the code looks like. I'll explain to you a high level of how the code functions shortly. All right. So before we go into the code, I just wanted to show you. So these are the assets I basically used to create the game. So over here you can see that I've got the Goku sprites. I just remove the background. Goku over here, Super Saiyan 3. We've got the actual wave, Kamehameha wave. This is Namek. Uh, that's Vegeta, of course, Vegeta Super Saiyan. And I do have, and I was going to include another, which is just generally Earth. But yeah, just for this demo, though, I'm not doing anything uh, too extravagant. So again, just very high level. You saw there's also that video that's muted currently, which is okay. The introduction video. All right, and those are the assets I basically work. I've got some basic beams. That's the audio sounds you were hearing during the uh, whilst the game was playing. So let's just quickly go ahead and take a look at the code. So you'll see I've used the Pygame library, okay? And the Pygame library has a number of specific modules or components rather in it that we can use to manipulate the way the game works, all right? Next up, we've got OS. OS just basically makes it easier to interact with file system objects such as these images and sounds that we see over here. The sys method is for system level operations like exiting the game and such. The timer that I showed you for the countdown timer and the movie.py. I'm basically importing all the modules from this library. And then, yeah, we're initializing everything. I set the video path. So you'll see it's very detailed. Here's the entrance sequence, okay? I basically call this function. This function basically handles the audio for the video when the game is starting, as well as the background music when the game completes. All right. And then this function just starts up the background music once more once the video completes. All right. Over here, I'm just loading a few extra sounds. This is the actual MP3 that we're using whilst the game is playing. These are the key blasts or the beams rather. I've been using global constants, all right, and then I call these constants instead of having to hard code the values each time with these variables. As you can see over here, I've created things like the resolution. I've created the width and height for the specific window. Um, I'll also leave a link in the description. There's something called RGB, okay? RGB color codes. And that's basically, this is the link over here that you can use to set specific colors, all right? Any of you that's done HTML and CSS will know that pretty well. All right, and then I just created like a FPS, which is just generally the frame rate per second for the game. The stage variable I'm using over here that I forgot is actually setting the background, which is Namek. That's the background we see in the actual game. These are specific events I created for damage taken. Um, this is the font. These are just basically conditions that I can call for when the game basically ends. These are the images for Goku and Vegeta. And this is how I use this. Like, for example, this is why I was saying a specific method. So from Pygame, we use image load and that Goku sprite over there. And the same with Vegeta. All right, and then we've got to use a function called draw window. This basically allows us to draw all the sprites and images, beams, the health bar, borders, everything that we can physically see on the screen is controlled by this function. Okay. There we can see the beams, the winner text. Um, then also something, but this is a bit little more technical, is that, for example, the projectiles from the characters' bodies, you'll see that I've got width and height set so that the projectile shoots from the character half base of the character's actual sprite. Okay, I'm setting the FPS over here, and this is basically the condition for the countdown. as well as the key press functions of Pygame that allows us to either restart the game, as well as when the countdown ends to quit the game. All right. You can basically see I've created a function for what involves as in game over, or what you can call or the function for game over, um, as well as how we can restart the game and the positions where both Goku and Vegeta start once the game has restarted. As you know, with in any actual, if I just quickly go to Paint over here, um, within any game that you create, okay, there's something that we refer to as a Cartesian plane. All right. Cartesian planes are basically just an x and y axis. All right. And then those specific values, like 700 over there that you saw, as basically where the sprites would generate. So we have our x axis and our y axis that would basically control the positional um, the values for where the characters spawn. Yeah, and over here is the movement functions. These movement functions just show us using the method again. So I created a function called Goku movement. So it's easy to see which character that we essentially um, the sprite that will be moving around. And as you could see, this is a two-player game. So I've essentially used the keys A, D, W, and S. And these are the positional coordinates I refer to, and how we can move left, right, up, and down in the game. And that's including Vegeta. Similarly, for the projectile logic, this is what would happen for Vegeta and Goku to take damage if a beam actually hits their specific position. So I just use variables that one can understand. That's Goku position, Vegeta position, Goku beams, Vegeta beams. Then we've got our main logic over here. And instead of having to recall and reconfigure the positional coordinates for the characters, I basically set those global variables above that we can use. In Python, you've got local and global variables. So, yeah, that's basically what this is here. Setting Goku's health and Vegeta's health, their transformation states, the FPS once more. Also busy creating the beam sound to actually play when a projectile is shot. And then controlling the transformations between Goku and Vegeta that you can see over here. Then obviously you can see what the event created for the key pressed as in P for Vegeta to transform, and the same for Goku. This basically details that if a specific event occurs whereby a projectile does hit Vegeta, that it minuses 25% of that 100% integer that we got over there. And yeah, this is the check for win condition, and this is basically a game over function that we created on top for when the countdown ends. And that just basically closes the loop over there. This is the function for reinitializing the sound. And then, yeah, we're just basically creating a class to state that this is the only, like, within Python programming, we have something called object-oriented programming, where you can create um, different, you can import code from different Python files in a specific directory. So instead of having a file that's almost 400 lines long, you could import functions from different py files and then import them right at the beginning of your code over there. But this is just stating that we are only using this game dev.py over there. And then this obviously just plays once we've executed the script, that it plays the video first sequence, and then obviously the games function starts there after that we saw. I hope you've enjoyed this, and yeah, let's have a great 2025, everyone. Take care. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.